knee up towards the chest. Take the fingers over the right shin, relax the hips, and move the right leg closer to you. Perhaps circles with the right knee. And your left hand on your right knee will move the right leg to the left. So the left hand on top of right thigh, the shoulders are set back. And take a few breaths. And then shift yourself back to center and lengthen out your legs. Pause there, take a breath. You'll move your left knee in, fingers over the left leg, and pull the left leg close to you. Your right hand on the left knee, you'll take your left leg to the right. So right hand is on top of your left thigh. And long, steady breaths. And begin to shift yourself back to center, releasing the limbs, palms faced up, and take a breath. Bend the knees and put the feet on the ground. Press into the feet and lift the hips up, point the tailbone away, palms face the floor. And take 3 breaths here. And then slowly come down vertebrae by vertebrae. Let the hips touch down and lift the right leg to the ceiling. Bring the hands behind the right thigh. Press the low back and reach the right heel up. Breathe in. You'll move the right ankle onto your left thigh. Use the right hand and press the right leg away. And then lift the left foot up, and we'll thread the needle, fingers behind, left hamstring or shin. Shoulders are back, tailbone is down. And rock left and right. Lower the left foot down, right foot down, right away next side, reach the left leg up, fingers behind the thigh, press the low back and reach the heel to the ceiling. Stretching out the bottom of the leg, breathe. And then move the left ankle onto the right thigh, press your left leg away, lift the right foot up, and fingers behind the right hamstring or shin. So shoulders back, tailbone down. And lightly rock left and right. right foot down, left foot down. Move the heels wider. Press the heels to lift the hips. Palms are face down. Point the tailbone away. And 3 breaths, continuing to point the tail. Squeeze the glutes. And we'll take an inhale. Come down bone by bone, vertebrae by vertebrae. And once the tailbone is on the floor, the hands will move onto the knees. So bring the knees up closer to the shoulders. And rock left and right. We'll keep the shins parallel to the ground, legs together, like you're sitting in a chair that fell on its back. Hands on thighs. Push into your thighs as your legs resist your hands, warming up your low core. So your hands are pushing for 3. Legs are pulling back in to feel a vibration for 2. Bit more effort if you feel you have it. Breathe in. And lower the feet down. Knees left, then right, back and forth. And back at center, open the heels really wide so they're at the mat width. Hands face down, we'll push the heels and lift the hips up. This time we're going to go through 12 reps. So come down, soften the glutes, and then squeeze the bum to lift up. Come down, just graze the floor, squeeze and lift. Let's move through 10, lift, 9, up, 8, 7, and lift, 6, 4, 3, 2. We'll hold the last one. Hold at the top for 3. Keep holding and lifting for 2. The back body engaged. Breathe in. Come down slow, bone by bone. And lengthen out the legs and take 1 breath. Feet back on the floor. Lift the feet off the ground like we're riding a bicycle. Start to pedal, keeping your low back on the floor. Palms face down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 3, 2. Just for a moment, touchdown, disengage, then feet back up and go the other way. Backwards. 9, 8, 7, 5, 3, and 1. Feet down, knees left, then right, back and forth. And with your toes together, your legs together, press the feet, lift up, lift the right leg up, bring the right foot back down, lower the hips down. Lift the hips up, take your left leg up, lower the leg back down, hips just touch the floor. Lift right side up and lower, hips graze, then lift, left side up and lower. 8 more. Just touch, lift, right leg up, right leg down. Touch, lift, left leg up, heel to the ceiling, left leg down. Touch, lift, right leg to the ceiling, foot down. Touch, lift, left leg up and down. Touch, lift. 6 more. Touch, lift, left side. Touch. So we're engaging the quadricep when you reach the heel up, down, touch. So glutes are engaged, left quadriceps engaged, foot down, hips touch. and lift. 4 more. Heel to the ceiling, and then foot down, touch, lift. Left heel up, quad engaged, foot down, touch, lift. 3, down, touch, lift. Still 3, heel to the ceiling, down, touch, lift. 2, still 2, and 1. Heel to the ceiling, down, touch, lift. Left heel to the ceiling, and then down. Stay down this time, touch, open the knees wide, butterfly, like you're flapping your wings. And you'll just reach up to the ceiling, keep your heels together, breathe in, lift the head and shoulders, and then down. Lift head and shoulders and lower. 12 and down. 11, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1. Head back, arms down, knees come back up, and we'll lengthen the legs. Take 1 breath. And feet back on the floor. Bring the knees into the chest, give the legs a hug. Lift the tailbone, rock up, lift your head and shoulders, back, lift the tail, head and shoulders up. Rock up and down a few times, maybe hands on back of legs. And you'll come up to a seat. But then bring the hands back behind and lower the elbows back onto the mat. Keep your legs out long. So elbows are on the floor. Point your toes away. Lift your legs up like you're kicking in a pool. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 3, 2, and on 1, both legs down. Give your legs a little shake. And the next thing we'll do is scissor kicking. So instead of up and down, legs are going to go left and right, crossing each time. Feet back up, and you'll do left over right, right over left, left over right, right over left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 3, 2, and on 1, we'll come back down, head and shoulders on the floor, Shavasana, take a breath. Rebend the knees, feet back on the ground. Scoot the seat to the left, knees to the right. Reach up. Breathe in, like you're reaching for the roof, and then lower. Lift, lower. 10, 9, 8, 6, 4, 2, and then head back, arms back. We'll switch sides. So legs back up. You're going to move your hips to the right, move your knees to the left. Arms back to the ceiling. Breathe in. Lift, lower, lift, lower. 10, 9, 7, 5, 3, and 1. Head back, arms down, knees back up. Open your heels really wide, so heels are mat width. Center the body if you've shifted at all. Press the heels and lift up. Move the knees in and out. Hips down, lift, knees in and out. Hips down, lift, in and out. Hips down, lift, in and out. 8, 7, 6, 4, 2, up, in, out. 1, up, in, out. Lower the hips down, move the knees to the shoulders, and give your legs a squeeze. And then lower the feet back onto the floor. Take the hands up behind your head. So your fingers interlaced behind you. You're going to take the right elbow to the left knee. We'll just go right through 12 times. So right elbow, left knee, and down. 11, down. 10, right elbow, left knee. 8, so you're lifting the foot off the floor, elbow to the knee. 6, 5, 3, and 1. Switch to the next side, left elbow, right knee, cross, touch, lower. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. Head back, ribs down, bring the toes back to touch. Palms face down. Press your feet, lift your hips. We'll take the right leg to the ceiling, keep it up. Do 8, down, up. 7, lift. 6, 5, 3, and 1. Bend the right knee, foot down, left leg up. Lift, down, up. 6, 4, 2. We're going to do one more on each side. Bend your left knee, foot down, right leg up. And again, 8, 7, 5, 3, and 1. Bend the right knee, foot down, left leg up, and down for 8, 7, 5, 3, and 1. Hips down, feet down, legs left and right. And back at center, you're going to lift the feet off the floor, shins parallel to the ground, hands on thighs. Lift your head, lift your shoulders. Push your legs as your thighs resist your hands. Firmly pressing for 5. The more shake, the better. 4, hands push, legs pull. 3, keep the low back flush to the ground. 2, keep squeezing, more vibration. Give it one last final push. And lower head down, feet down. Knees left and right. Let's lift the right arm up overhead, hips to the left. And you'll roll onto the right side using your top hand on the ground. Ear on the bicep. Let's keep your knees bent, feet together. Just like a clam shell opening, top knee up, and then lower knee lifts and lower to 12 and down, 11, 10, 8, 4, 2. Okay, we'll keep the top leg straight on the floor in front, the bottom leg straightened out. So the knee can come to the mat, your top hand for support, top knee for support. Lift the bottom thigh up and lower. Lift, lower. 10. 8. 6. 4. 2. 1. Keep your top hand on the floor, straighten out both legs. So both legs are long. We'll take the top leg up, make circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch again, bigger circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, switch directions. This time really small circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, put it on the floor in front. Use the top hand, give your leg a punch. Massaging out the area that we just worked. And you'll put your top hand back on the ground. Lift the bottom thigh up, hold. Tap, lift, hold. Tap, lift, hold. Down and hold. Do this for 8. Down, up, hold. For 7. Lower, lift, hold. 4, 3, 2. Hold here for 3. Keep holding, lifting higher if you can for 2. And then lower leg. We're going to move to the next side. You could roll to your front and flip over, or spin yourself around to see the screen. Whichever works better for you. Same idea though, you're using the bicep as a pillow, top hand on the ground. We'll keep the knees bent to start. So your toes remain together. Knee up and down. Lift and lower. 12, 11, 10, focusing on the side of the hip. 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. Okay, straighten the bottom leg. Top knee remains on the floor in front. Lift bottom leg up and down. Lift and lower. 10, 9, 7, 5, 3, and 1. Straighten out both of the legs. Both legs long, top hand still on the floor. Reach the heels away. Lift the top leg up. Make circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other direction. Big circles. 4, 3, and 1. Other direction. Really big circles like hula hoops. 2, 1. Small circles. Other direction. Really small circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee. Knee on the floor. Top hand can give the top hip a bit of a massage. Then your top hand on the ground. Bottom thigh up, hold. Touch, lift, hold. Touch, lift, hold. Down, up, 8, 7, 4, 2. Hold here for 3. Keep lifting. Higher if you can for 2. Elevate, elevate, inner thigh engaged, and lower down. Relax. Okay, we're going to come to a tabletop position, so any way to make your way there, hands and knees. Open your finger pads up wide. Look up to the ceiling, lift your tailbone, move your biceps forward. And then chin to chest and tuck your tail, look down to the waist. Breathe in, look back up to the ceiling. Let's just open the knees up wide and send the hips back. Elbows down, forehead down. Rock left and right. Come back forward to a tabletop. Shift your weight forward, bend your elbows for 3. Slowly coming down, keep your hips up. Elbows close by your sides for 2. Still hovering off the mat. Pause here, breathe in. And come down on 1. Point your toes away. We'll do 10 back sit-ups. Lift your chin, your ribs up, hands up. Lower down. Lift and hold. And lower. 10. And down. 9. Lower. 8. 7. Lower. Back down. 5. 4. 3. 2. Lower, and 1. Back down. Bring the forearms on the floor. So elbows beneath the shoulders, palms face down, a little pull, chin up. You're moving the heart forward. Breathe. You're going to press the knees and lift your hips up. Keep your low back long, low core drawn in. We're holding here for 5. So the knees are down, the elbows are taking weight. Draw the belly close to the spine. 4. You can open up your fingers and grip the ground. So you're spreading weight over the elbows, forearms, and palms. 3. So clearly the low core is engaged. Maybe a bit of the pec muscles as well. Hold here for 2. And we'll take a breath in. Slowly come down, hips down, ribs down, chin down. Keep your hands by your sides, point the toes away. Let's lift your left leg up and down. Left leg lifts and lower. 12, down. 11, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. Next side right away. Other leg lifts and lowers. Up and down. 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1. Look left, hands by the sides, release your arms back. Little shake of your hips left and right. Take a few long breath cycles here. Just relaxing your body. Keep this shape, but flip the palms to face down. Move the hands outside of your mat onto the floor. Bring the chin back onto the ground. Engage your thighs. Chin, ribs up and down. Lift, back engaged, and lower. You could lift the hands up as well. Inhale, and then down. So thighs are still strong. Lift the kneecaps off the floor. Lower. So 10. Back down. 9. Lower. 7. 5. 3. And last 1. Back down. Put the elbows back on the mat. So forearms are parallel to the ground. A little pull of the forearms to reach the ribs forward. Look forward. Breathe. And engage the thighs. Lift the right leg up and lower. Lift. Lower. 10. 9. 8. 7. 5. 3. And right away we're switching to the next side. Lift your other leg up and lower. Lift. Lower. 10. 8. 6. 3. And 1. Stay here. Either press the knees and lift the hips off the mat, or tuck your toes and straighten your legs. Forearms still on the floor. Thighs engaged, core contained. Stay for 8. So thighs active, shoulders broad for 7. Try to challenge yourself. If you had the knees down before, maybe lift for 6. You could even do every other count. Knees up, then knees down for 5. 4. 3. Hold for 2. We'll take a breath in. And the knees down, the ribs down, look right, hands by the sides, relax and breathe. Hands back on the floor, chin back on the mat, press the knees, lift the hips up. Push your hands and rise yourself back up to a tabletop position. Open the knees wide. Send the hips back to the heels, elbows down, forehead down, and breathe. Shift yourself back up to hands and knees. Move your weight forward, bend the elbows for 5. Slowly coming down, elbows by your sides. Keep your hips lifted 4. So hips are still up, elbows by your sides. 3, keep the belly drawn in. 2, still hovering. Touch down on 1. Point your toes away, lift the chin, the ribs, feet, knees, thighs up, maybe the hands up. 3. Lifting everything off the floor for 2, the whole back body working. Breathe in. Come down on 1, hands down, feet down, chin down. Press the knees, lift the hips off the mat. So your bum is pointed up in the air. Push the hands, begin to rise to a table. The slower, the better. And when you're all the way up to hands and knees, open the knees wide, hips back to heels. Little rock left and right, a few breaths. And And bring yourself back up, hands and knees. Shift your weight forward, bend your elbows, and slowly move forward, keeping the hips up. 3, elbows by your sides. Slowly moving down for 2. Take a breath in. And you'll touch the mat on 1. Lift the toes, lift the thighs, lift the ribs, hands up. Look forward. 3 breaths. 1 more inhale. And then come down, hands down, feet down, chin down. Press the knees, lift the hips. Push the hands, the slower the better. Barely lifting the ribs off the floor. Take your time. Gradually make your way towards hands and knees. When you're all the way up, you're going to send your hips back to your heels. Couple breaths, move around. Relax. And we'll do this again. Shift forward. Bend your elbows and move the ribs forward. Slowly coming down. 3. 2. Hover off the mat. Breathe in. And the ribs down. Lift the chin, lift the ribs up. Thighs up, elbows, hands up. Hold. Take an inhale. And lower down. Press the knees, hips up, push the hands. Slow and steady, rise to a tabletop. And the hips back to your heels. 3 breaths in child's pose. Rise yourself back up, hands and knees. Keep your fingers open. Reach your left leg away. Left leg reaches. You can hold that with your left leg back, maybe the right hand forward. Hold for 3. Here for 2. Right hand down, left knee down. Next side. Other leg. Right leg goes back, hold that. Maybe your left hand forward. Hold for 3. 2. Then the hand down, the knee down. Look right to the back heel. And then look left to the heel. And forward. Okay, lengthen out your left leg. Reach the right hand forward. You can stay here for 3 breaths or inhale to reach. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale 2. And then squeeze. Inhale 1, lengthen. Right elbow, left knee, squeeze it in. 1 more stretch. Breathe in. Knee down, hand down. Next side. Right leg long, left arm can reach. You could stay here. Breathe in to lengthen. And then exhale, left elbow, right knee. If you're engaging the core. Inhale to lengthen, left arm forward, right leg back. Exhale, squeeze in. 1 more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen out. And then knee down, hand down. Look up to the ceiling, lift the tail. And chin to chest, tuck your tail. Neutral. Walk the knees up behind the wrists. Knees wide, toes touch, take a seat. Hands on the floor behind. Lift the hips up. So you can lift your chin, look at the roof, feel the shoulders stretch. Space in the front of your pelvis. Stretching the top of the quadriceps. Breathe in. Hips back down. Maybe the elbow and the other elbow down. Again, a lift of the hips and lower. Head and shoulders back. Perhaps hold opposite elbows above. And breathe. 3 breaths. Hands move under ankles. Press your elbows to rise yourself to a seat. Stay there for a breath. And then your hands on the floor in front, tabletop. Tuck your toes to downward dog. So you're using this pose to open the low back, maybe a bend of one knee, then a bend of the other knee. Releasing tension in the back of the legs. Keep your shoulders nice and broad. And we'll rise up to the top of a push-up. Hold there. So high plank. Biceps forward. Core strong, thighs strong. If you want to lower the knees, go for it. We'll lower for the count of 5. Take a breath in. Bend the elbows for 4. Slowly moving towards the mat. For 3. Knees down is always an option. You're keeping your hips lifted for 2. Hover. And then you'll touch the floor. This time your toes together. Bring the hands behind your low back and interlace your fingers behind. Lift the chin, lift the ribs, the hands up. Feet, knees, and thighs up. You're lifting the whole upper body, lifting the thighs for 3. Elevate everything. Here for 2. We'll take a full inhale where you are. And come down slow. Hands back onto the mat. Palms face down. Either press the knees and lift the hips, or tuck your toes, lift the hips and knees, push the hands, make your way back up to a tabletop position. Inhale, then back to downward dog. Full inhale, and out your mouth. You can move right into pigeon pose if you like. Left leg to the ceiling. I'll guide a little bit more core work before. So the left knee, left elbow. If you're going to pigeon, do it right now if you want to. Or the left leg back up to feel the glute engaged. Move the left knee to the right elbow. So you're squeezing your core, chin in. Left leg back up, breathe in. Take your left knee to your nose, rounding your spine. And then take your left leg back to the ceiling, glute engaged. We'll move the left knee behind the left wrist. Angle your shin. Walk your right leg back. Fold over your left leg. And 5 breaths. And the hands come back on the mat. Tuck your back toes underneath. You can lift the same leg back up. So your left leg comes up and open at the hip. Reach the right heel down, reach your left leg high. Take a breath. Level and lay on the left foot back down. Next side, right leg up to the ceiling, breathe in. You can move right to pigeon if you want, or the right knee, right elbow. Inhale to reach the right arm, right leg back up. Right knee, left elbow. Take your right leg back to the ceiling, breathe in. Move the right knee to your nose, round your spine. And right leg back up, breathe in. Take the right knee behind the right wrist. Angle your shin. Walk your left leg back. Fold over the right leg. And breathe. Take 5 breaths. Can move back onto the floor. Tuck your back toes underneath. We'll lift the right leg up and open your hip, keeping your shoulders square to the top of the mat. And level back off. Lower the right foot back down. Lower the knees down. Hands come back to the legs, and you can stand up on the knees, hands low back. Lift the ribs, elbows close together, hips forward, lift the gaze. Perhaps one hand to a heel, then the other hand back to the heel. Hips forward and lift the heart, look up. 3 breaths. And we'll take a hand low back, rise yourself up. Keep your toes tucked underneath, come back to a seat. You can use your fingers to ensure the pinky toes are also tucked. Hands on thighs, palms faced up. Close your eyes and breathe. Stretching out the soles of the feet, our Achilles heel and calf muscles. Bring the hands on the floor in front, point the toes away. Come back to a seat, your hands can move back by the feet. Lean back and lift the knees up to stretch the front of the shins. Lower the knees back down, hands on the floor, cross the ankles. Come back to a seat, lengthen out the legs forward. So hands by the sides, push the floor down to lift the ribs up. The heels are about hip width, the toes towards the face. And your next step, arms to the ceiling. Breathe in to reach, heart forward, and fold over your legs. Three more breaths here. And then we'll move the hands by the hips, palms face down. Shift your weight forward so the feet are going to move to the floor and your hips will lift up. So reverse tabletop. So we're stretching the biceps. Lifting your hips up, the glutes engaged, the feet are still hip width. 3, look at the roof. Hips up for 2, take a full inhale. And then lower the hips down. Lower one elbow at a time. And then head and shoulders back. We'll push the feet for bridge. You can tuck your shoulders underneath, fingers interlaced beneath the pelvis. Stretching the front of the body and lifting your hips high. And we'll take a full inhale. Release your fingertips and come down nice and slow, hips to the mat. You'll move the right thigh up and over the left thigh. Lift your legs, send them left. Left hand on top, reach the right hand away, look to the right thumb. And breathe. Look up, legs up, unbind your legs, adjust your hips if you need to. Take the next side, your other leg up and over, legs go right, the hand on top, and reach your left thigh away, find a twist. Look back up, legs back up, unbind the legs, feet together, open the knees wide. Take a few breaths, relaxing the front of the hips. And you'll lift your feet, hands between the legs to grab the outsides of the feet. And then lengthen out your legs. And 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, you'll bring the feet back together. Lower the heels to the mat. Lengthen out your legs. Palms faced up by your sides. Relax everything.